All right, hey, what's up? It is outside of the courthouse with Attorney Rosenberg. He was sitting inside the courtroom for closing arguments, and I want to know from him his thoughts on the part of closing that he was able to see. Do you think that it was powerful? Did you observe the jurors in any way? Like, what was your observation?
So once again, Nicholas Rosenberg, Attorney Rosenberg. Find me on IG. The part that I saw was the tail end of Joe Tacopina's closing. And then I saw John Lewin of Phil Spector fame, John Lewin doing his rebuttal argument. So just a few thoughts. I thought Joe, I love his presence. I like the way he moves. He owns the courtroom. Little bit on the podium, but he's just a very powerful guy. I really like that. He's got a deep, sonorous voice. Contrasting that with John Lewin. So if you saw the trial, you know this has been a shouting match, highly contentious. The judge keeps saying,
this way. Go ahead.
The judge keeps saying, be quiet, don't shout, don't do this, don't do that. And it's, the bickering. So, but I think what John Lewin did that was smart was he said, look, if you don't like me, if you think I'm obnoxious, if you think I'm difficult, that's not what this trial is about. And I thought that he disarmed that issue, because very often when prosecutors or defense lawyers appear too aggressive, some jurors are put off by that.
Right.
So those are some of my thoughts. I mean, look, Joe's an amazing lawyer, and John Lewin is a good prosecutor. I mean, these were heavyweights.
Yeah, head to head.
And I will say that
what do you think about, sorry to cut you off, go ahead. Finish
No,
your thought.
I will say that I've never heard of a jury trial where the defendant calls out to a witness not to answer a question. Usually it's like, oh man, bullshit, she's lying, right? So that was a new one in the Rosenberg playbook.
What about the prop gun defense? How did you feel about that being a defense, and what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the issue is how viable is it? So a couple of thoughts. The first one was, I was very interested in this idea that Relly went back to the crime scene an hour and a half later, and all of a sudden he's got these two silver casings. It occurred to me watching the witnesses when they recovered the 9mm ammunition at Rocky's house. If you noticed, it was a silver casing with a bronze circle, and the casings that Relly found did not have that. Mm-hmm. And to me, that was highly significant, and that stuck with me. Now, what John Lewin did is he basically tried to eviscerate the argument that Relly's credibility is what this trial is all about. And I think that his rebuttal was very, very effective. Now, I haven't been there. I've been there maybe 80% of the time. The judge clearly stated, both to the lawyers and to the jury, that both sides gave 150%. And I noticed both of the lawyers acknowledged the judge. They thanked the judge. That's not something that we always do. I try to keep, the judge out of it. So
have you ever gone before that judge before?
I think I may have done a short appearance with Judge Arnold, but I haven't done a trial. And by the way, this was a 4-week trial?
It was a long time. I think it was more or less like 3, but...
Well, you've been here pretty much every day. Mm-hmm. Tell me something that you saw. Tell me about Joe's beginning closing, because I wasn't there.
His beginning closing, he was basically talking about the money grab aspect, how he's not a reliable witness, how he's not credible, how he kept changing his testimony, how when he went to the gun range, he said that wasn't him, definitely not, and how the prosecution was, they put in a stipulation saying that it happened in Jersey, it didn't happen in Jersey, it actually happened in California, how he came back and he waited until he saw something on Twitter, and then he conveniently called the detective, how on the phone call to Wally, he was trying to, do like money shakedown type stuff. And
Yeah,
he
the
also,
extortion.
yeah, and then he also was pointing out, or he tried to slip in and say that Ills was.
Hey, what's up, Eddie? Yeah, happy Valentine's. I'm sorry.
He tried to slip in and say that Ills was addicted, but he didn't really get out and clear and say he's an addict. We can't put him on the stand. He just was trying to say or allude that he wasn't well as to why he wasn't there. And then he was just pointing at.
Well, did they object? Facts not in evidence, or did that come into evidence?
I think Lewin was objecting a lot. That could have been one of the ones that he objected to. I don't remember specifically right now, but he definitely objected a lot.
Didn't he say 25 times?
It was a lot.
He told the judge that, didn't
18
he?
or something.
It was
Well,
a
then
lot.
the judge, remember, he said that I've been keeping score, and
Yeah.
you've objected 12 times. I sustained 5, and I overruled 7.
Yeah, and then when was the big fight? Was that today or yesterday? It's all blended in.
today.
Okay.
It happened like 2 weeks ago.
Tell me about the big fight.
Were you in there?
I don't even know, man.
You weren't in there if
They
you
were
don't
fighting.
recall.
They were fighting. Then when the cameras went off, they really got in the fight.
Yeah, they were
They were yelling at
They
each
were
other.
Lewin kept walking back and
Yeah,
walking
Lewin
back
kept
up,
walking,
walking up
squabbling
on
up
him. They told him that he was on steroids, and then
Wait, Lewin told Joe he's on steroids?
yeah, he told him he's on steroids, and then Lewin was like, "Judge, if he says one more thing to me, I'm gonna air everything out. I'm gonna air it all out."
Yeah. I was there for that. I was there for that.
Then he called him a hunchback. Joe called Lewin a hunchback after that.
I remember
Yeah.
he said, no, okay, let's go back to this unethical. So Lewin kept objecting, it's unethical, Judge, and I have a duty, and it's unethical, and they were really going like that. And then remember, I forget if the jury wasn't there, but Joe's like, oh, I'm afraid of you.
Yeah.
I like Joe, okay? So I'm not going to say anything bad about
Because he's a
it.
New Yorker, right? That's what...
No, I like, he's like a tough guy. He's like a mafioso.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's that. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that.
Well, they have jury deliberations on Tuesday. Do you think that deliberations will go past Tuesday, given what you've seen?
Okay, that's a great question. Is this the 5-minute verdict that Lewin is predicting? Or is the jury going to take their time and reconstruct the evidence and go through and carefully deliberate? And my answer is, I don't know. You watched the jury more than I did.
I think that it's going to be, I'm predicting that there's going to be a verdict on Tuesday. I don't think they're going to want to come back. I don't think it'll be a 5-minute thing, but I think that it's going to take more than 5 minutes to fill out the paperwork. So I think that it's going to be a verdict on Tuesday. I think that they're going to take most of the day and then decide, but I could be wrong. It's hard to read exactly what they're going to do, but that's my, assumption.
Okay, so I will say this. So there's a writer, Haviland, and he puts out a list of prosecutorial misconduct. It's like a Bible. When you're a baby public defender, you have to read it. And as I'm sitting there, I'm writing notes. And so one of the things as a trial lawyer, before the case begins, we can write a trial brief. Mm-hmm. And after this, I want to start adding the misconduct before the argument so that we have an understanding, because once the jury hears it, the phrase, you can't unring the bell. So Lewin's a good prosecutor. I'm not casting aspersions on John Lewin. He's a veteran DA. But every time you watch a trial, when you're not in it, you see things that the lawyer didn't, because everyone's different. So yeah, I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to watch this trial, and I feel blessed. I was proud to meet you, and
I'm glad to meet you too.
So keep me posted on the verdict.
Okay. And then last thing before you punch back, do you think he should have took the plea deal or not?
That's a very good question, and I'm going to spin it and put it back on you. let's say there's a conviction, all counts, special allegations true, and the judge finds the aggravating factors true. Aggravating factors mean the judge can go from midterm to high term. In this case, 245B, 3 years, 6 years, 9 years. Use of a firearm, 3, 4, or 10. Max on count 1, 19. But what if there's a conviction and Judge Arnold says 180 days county jail, 2 years formal probation? In other words, what if the judge sentences him to his pretrial offer?
But that's like unlikely.
This trial, who knows what's likely. All right, guys.
Well, all right, you guys let me know what you think. Should he have taken the plea deal or not? And what are your predictions? And we're gonna let Rosenberg punch back.
Okay, guys. Nicholas Rosenberg, legal commentary, ASAP Rocky trial, punching back.
All right. Peace out, guys.
All right, that was